This legend comes from Ulal in Karnataka, from southern India during the second half of the 16th century, say about 1550 onwards. Rani Abaka Chota was the first Tuluva queen of Ulal who fought the Portuguese in the later half of the 16th century. She enjoyed immense popularity among the people of her bravery and caring nature towards the people. In the Principality of Ulal, the then Queen Haria Abaka was on her deathbed, and the Portuguese were expanding their sway with their evil expansion plans around Goa. Ulal was already under the Portuguese rule, taken as a vassal kingdom. It paid its yearly tribute to the Portuguese rulers. This immoral loot hurt the queen immensely, who wanted her principality to flourish, not perish, under the foreign rule. She also feared for the sovereignty of her motherland. The dying queen expressed her worries and concerns about the safety and sovereignty of her principality to her brave daughter, Abaka Devi. Abaka, solacing her dying mother, promised her that she would take care of Ulal and keep it free from the evil designs of the foreigners. The mother soon died, and Devi Abaka took over as the queen. Her first act was to gain love and support from her subjects. She asked for this support to keep the Portuguese at bay and not unwavering support from the masses. Her husband, Veera Narasimha, the king of B. Angadi, saw trouble in Queen's staunch opposition to the Portuguese. He tried convincing Abaka to think twice before taking up arms against the Portuguese authorities. He was of the opinion that Ulal and Bangadi, being small principalities, were of no match to the powerful foreign invaders. Before the steely resolve of Abaka, he had to give up. Queen Abaka went ahead with her opinion against the Portuguese. When asked to pay annual tributes, she outrightly refused. She maintained that Ulal was a sovereign principality and would neither pay the so-called tribute in cash or kind or take orders from any other authority. This was an open defiance of the Portuguese. In a radically daring move for those times, that too coming from a woman, Abaka got the merchant ships built for her kingdom and leveraged her cordial and profitable trade relations with the kingdom of Arabia. But on their return from one of the commercial voyages, the Ulal fleet was apprehended by the Portuguese authorities. Only one of the workers of the ship, with great difficulty, managed to reach back to Ulal. He appraised her queen of the act of the Portuguese loot and exploitation, and that the commander of the ship was under the Portuguese. As the royal rule demands, she sent an envoy to the Portuguese to get back her ships and the commander. However, much to her fury, the Portuguese replied by attacking Ulal. Rani Abaka stood and saw the cannons booming from across the river. The enemy had left no choice for the queen. She gathered her horses and the forces and decided to attack Portuguese fort in Mangalore. It was indeed a very daring move to pick up arms against supposedly much bigger army and enemy. Portuguese were sure of their win, and the governor at Mangalore, Ribeiro, had to run for his life as Queen took over the Mangalore fort. The governor at Goa reacted sharply, and the Portuguese rallied at Ulal to avenge their defeat at the Mangalore fort. But Queen Abaka, with a sword held high and will to free Ulal even higher, was ready with her men to fight the enemy till her last breath. Queen Abaka showed legendary courage as she led her forces against the Portuguese. The battle lasted 4 days, at the end of which Portuguese were down at their knees. The Portuguese were driven out of Ulal, never to come back again. Queen Abaka kept the promise given to her dying mother and her commitment to her people that her life was to protect Ulal. It is believed that Portuguese had made several attempts to capture Ulal, as it was strategically placed, only to be repulsed by Abaka each time for over 4 decades. For her bravery, Abaka Devi came to be known as Abhaya Rani, the fearless queen. She is also believed to be one of the earliest Indians to fight colonialism and is sometimes considered to be the first woman freedom fighter of India at the state of Karnataka. She is celebrated along with as one of the foremost women warriors and patriots. According to traditional accounts, she was an immensely popular king, and this is also attested by the fact that she is even today part of folklore. The Queen's story has been retold from generation to generation through folk songs and Yakshagana, a popular theatre in coastal Karnataka. She was seen as a caring queen who worked late into the night, dispensing justice to her people. Legends also claim that Abbakka was the last known person to have used the Agnivana, the fire arrow, in a fight against the Portuguese. Some accounts also claim that she had two equally valiant daughters who fought alongside her in her wars against the Portuguese. Abbakka's memory is much cherished in her hometown of Ulal. The Veera Rani Abbakka Utsav is an annual celebration held in her memory. The Veera Rani Abbakka Prashasti Award is given to distinguished women on that occasion. On 15th of January 2003, the Indian Postal Department issued a special cover on Rani Abbakka. All hail Rani Abbakka, Jai Rani Abbakka.